Good morning, class. Lesson 50, Power Up F. We just finished the whole front side. It should look exactly like mine. And now for full credit, flip it over. You should have divided into sixths already. Lesson 50 is finding the average today. We're going to learn what the average is and how to find the average. Before we do that, I'd like to, I want to show my screen here for a second. I got this wonderful, delicious seltzer water. I'm not big into seltzer water, but it is naturally flavored mandarin orange. And well, a couple brothers, so there's a cup for me, and there's a cup for my brother, and a cup for my other brother, and I'm going to crack this seltzer water open. And I'm going to give myself some. I'm going to give my brother some. Oh boy, I better save some for my youngest brother. Okay, with Berlin, he might be upset. So, well, this one's got a little more. How about I do this? Give this guy a little bit here. You guys ever do this at home? You kind of look, see who's got the exact same amount. I don't want my sister to get more than me. Oh, give me some of yours. Oh, give me some of yours. Let's try to make these exactly. I'm not really good at this. Exactly the same. Exactly the same. Get them exactly the same. Then I suppose all my brothers would be happy. Well, that's what I did. I just did today's objective. Today's objective is to find the average. You want to find the same amount, even though everybody started with a different amount. We're going to pour them together until we get the exact same amount. That's the average. And there's two steps to finding the average. Step 1, add. Step 2, divide by the number of numbers. Now when you guys watch my videos and I say add, step 2, divide by the number of numbers. Now, I don't make these things up. This actually comes from the book. The book said combine to find the total and separate the total into equal groups. Okay, what does that really mean? Combine means add. Separate means divide. So if you're going to do it their way, you would say these things. Combine to find the total, separate to find into equal groups. That sounds confusing. So what we're going to say is step 1, add. Step 2, divide by the number of numbers. What in the world does that mean, Mr. Bauer? Well, let's check it out with these little coins that we have up here. My brother and I are going to share these coins. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coins. I'll put that right in my first 6 coins. And I have, that was 5 nickels. 5 nickels, and I have 9 nickels. So my brother has 5, and I have 9. And so we want to make equal stacks. I could say 1 for you and 1 for me, or we could just add. Step 1, add. 9 plus 5 is 14. And divide by the number of numbers. What do you mean divide by the number of numbers? Well, here's 1 number, and here's 2 numbers. 1, 2. So I'm going to take my 14, I'm going to divide it by 2, and I get 7. That gives him 4, 5, 6, 7 coins, and that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have the average. Our stacks are the same exact height. He had 5 and I had 9. We wanted to have the same. Step 1, add. Step 2, divide by the number of numbers. Here comes example number 1. If the water, this is what I just did, if the water from a glass is poured from glass to glass until the amount of water in each glass is the same, how many ounces of water will be in each glass? All right, my first brother has 4 ounces, and I have 7 ounces, and my other brother has 7 ounces. Add, say it with me. Step 1, add. 7 plus 7 is 14, plus 4 more is 15, 16, 17, 18 ounces of water. Now we're going to, step 2, divide by the number of numbers. So we put our 18 there. What number of numbers? What are you talking about? Oh yeah, I got 1 number, 2 number, 3 numbers. So I'm going to divide by 3. And 18 divided by 3 is 6. 6 ounces. Now that's a lot. Cup and dump it in there and dump it in here and dump it in here. We can do it mathematically. Step 1, say it with me. Add. Step 2, divide by the number of numbers. Example number 2. It says Brad's sister timed him as he swam laps. So I don't know if you guys ever get to go to the YMCA and swim some laps. We like to play racquetball at the YMCA and play in the water. I don't usually swim laps, but I suppose it's pretty. Well, here are his times. The first time was 80 seconds, then 85 seconds, then 90 seconds, 85 and 90. What was the average? Whoa, this one's a little bit tougher. All right, well, let's get them down. 80 plus 85 plus 90 plus 85 plus 90. 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 8 more is 17, plus 9 is 26, plus 8 is 30, plus 9 is 43. 43. 430 is my answer. All right, we're going to take 430 and we're going to divide by how many numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to divide by 5. How many times does 5 go into 43? 8 times. 8 times 5 is 40. When you subtract, you get a 3. Bring down your 0. How many times does 5 go into 30? 6 times. So my answer is 86 seconds. Now, if I gotta look to make sure I have this what, it would make sense if it was bigger than the smallest number, and smaller than, is going to fall somewhere in the middle. And 86 definitely falls in between 80 and 90. Let's practice a couple more here. Take a look at your lesson practice. Number 1, it says the numbers of players on 4 squads was 5, 6, 9, and 8. If the squads were changed so that the same number of players were on each squad, how many players would each squad have? If these are basketball 5, man, they're going to be really tired. This team that's got 9, they're going to be better rested. So we're going to, as a coach, even these up. Step 1, add. Step 2, divide by the number of numbers. 5 plus 6 is 11. Plus 9 more is 20. Plus 8 is 28. 28 divide by the number of numbers. Count them with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to divide by 4. 28 divided by 4 equals what? Players. Is 7 less than the biggest number? Yep. Is 7 bigger than the smallest number? Yep. And we know right. Okay, B. It says when the class lined up, there were 11 students in one line and 17 students in the other line. If the lines were rearranged so at the same, find the average, right? Step 1, add. Step 2, divide by the number of numbers. So let's go ahead and take 11 plus 17. 7 plus 1 is 8. 28 students. How many lines? 1, 2. Divided by 2. 2 goes into 2 one time. 1 times 2 is 2. Subtract, you get 0. Bring down your 8. 2 goes into 8. 4 times 14, I suppose it would be students or kids. Step 1. Step 2, divide by the number of numbers. And let's do the last one we got here is C. This picture shows 3 stacks of books. You'll see this problem in our lesson often. If the stacks wanted to be equal, how many books would be in each stack? So you got to count these carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books in the first stack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books. And now we're going to add. 5 plus 7 is 12. Plus the books. Divide by the number of numbers. 1, 2, 3. 21 divided by 3 equals 7. 7 what? 7 books. Alright guys, step 1, add. Step 2, divide by the number of numbers. Anytime you see a problem in your assignment from lesson 50, you're going to know you're trying to find the average. Step 1, add. Step 2, divide by the number of numbers. Alright, stay tuned for video number 3, where I'll help you with a few problems from your lesson.